Hello and welcome, Pauleh here, and this is my Star Wars The Old Republic log. And in this video I want to give you a little guide that should help some of you out. Now, this is aimed at people who are using the 12 times XP boost if you're a subscriber, although it is applicable to people that are playing normally without a subscription, i.e. free to play. Now, the guide is for gearing as you're leveling up, because a lot of people have been struggling, myself included, but here is something that you should be doing as you're leveling up. So, before we get started, we're going to need a set of armor that you can modify. Now, I'm going to quickly show you a few different easily accessible ways to get said armor. Now, one of the first, it requires you to go to your homeworld cantina. Now this depends if you're Republic or Empire. If you're a Republic, it will be on Coruscant, but let me show you. There should be a social items vendor.
I've got the best hardware and the best prices.
And he will sell, not a full set I will say, but a part of a set, which should be enough for the early levels, and you should be able to pick up something to fill the belts, braces, and yeah, just belt and braces really. But as you can see here, he sells a formal set and an elegant set for 250 credits each. Okay, a couple of pieces of 300 credits, but that is extremely cheap. You will get enough money for that by the time you're off your first planet. Now, it doesn't really matter, your starter planet is pretty well a breeze to get through, so you won't have to worry about struggling to kill anything. But when you get off either Korriban or Typhon, then you will need to start upgrading your gear. Now, this is one way of getting a set of adaptive armor, although I will say it does require social 1. Now, you start off at social rank 0, I believe. If you do the first flashpoint, which is the Black Talon, for instance, if you're on the Empire side, by the time you're done with that, or if you group with anyone while you're on your starter planet, you should get enough social points to rank up. Now, there is another way. Now, this is what I believe to be the best way of getting a full set of adaptive armor, and I have a feeling the vendor you need to speak to will also be on your starter planet. You just have to look around, but I cannot confirm that. So, we're here on the Imperial Fleet, and this is the same for the Republic. If you head to the supplies area and go to the very first bay, which has the lowest level gear, which would be level 7 equipment gear, so for the Empire this is the Korriban vendors. There should be a level 7 equipment vendor just here, Captain Fanar. Now,
you won't find a better
this was
bargain.
added in, and this is actually new to me, but I can already tell it is incredibly useful. So, as you can see here, he sells full sets of adaptive armor, including offhand and main hand weapons. And they're all 6 accommodations each. Now, while I haven't actually gone through Korriban using the 12 times XP bonus, or since they've increased the amount of accommodations you get as a reward, I cannot confirm this, but I have a feeling it's based around that, so you should have enough accommodations so long as you select it, but more on that soon. But as you can see here, you can get a full set very easily, and I recommend doing that. Now, the best thing about this set, if you can get it as soon as you reach around, what's the minimum level here, level 7, you won't have to mess with modifying it or anything. All the modifications are there already. Now, if you're unsure what constitutes modifiable gear, if you look on the information that's currently popped up, you will see that under total stats it will have item modifications, and it will say die module, armoring, mod enhancement. Now, you will find some items that just say die module. This means you cannot modify them outside of adding dye, changing the colour of the equipment. As long as it's got armoring, mod and enhancement, or in some cases of such, you know, belts and bracers that will only show armoring and mod, as long as it's got those there available, that means you can modify it. So that's the important thing to look for. And I still believe this is probably the best way to get a set of gear. It is worth pointing out though, if you were a subscriber when the Galactic Starfighter update came out, you will receive every time you make a new character a set of pilot's gear. That's all adaptive, so you can modify those as well, so you could just get them out and get the modifications for them and you're good to go. But I believe speaking to one of these vendors is probably your best course of action. And if I'm totally honest, this stuff doesn't look too bad either. It even comes with a helmet, which is quite nice, because I don't recall ever seeing a helmet on the lower level planets when I played. But things have changed.
Come back anytime.
Now, before I go into item modification, there is one more thing that I will show you in terms of getting better gear as you're leveling up an easier way, and this mostly applies to free-to-play players. Now, I still feel the way I've just described it is the best way to do it, but you can search for armor on the Galactic Trade Network. If you don't know where one is, just head to this area here and go to one of these auction houses as they were. You'll want to mess with the filters, so I'm going to set it to armor, and let's say I wear medium armor and I just want something for my chest piece. You can set your level here. Now we're just going to say I'm level 20, but I'm going to increase the range of searching, say from 15 to 22. That means that maybe I'll level up and then I can wear something. Now this doesn't always work, but as you can see here, there's some green pieces of armor and they're very cheap. In fact, there's blue pieces of armor as well that are quite a bit better, but also still very cheap. Then you can get onto more of the adaptive gear, which is actually a bit more expensive, but using this is a really good way of finding armor for cheap. And you can basically just buy it and throw it away, sell it when you're done. And just to show you quickly here, sort by price, and the green stuff is very cheap, ridiculously cheap, so you should always be able to afford it. Make sure you do this for your companions as well. If you can get a set of adaptive gear for your companions, I highly recommend it. I'm not entirely sure if you can use the adaptive gear which is sold by this equipment vendor. Let me quickly show you though. We'll test it, we'll test it.
Won't find a better bargain.
So, I have a companion vet.
Good to stretch the old legs.
Now, see, this says it requires Imperial Agent and Smuggler. Now, can I even buy this? I cannot buy this because I'm not the right class. I imagine if you can buy it, you can use it. So, for example, let's buy the headgear.
Come back anytime.
And I'm just going to switch companions to one that actually uses the same stats as me and wears heavy armor. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to fit his big head into this, but we'll see. So can he... No, he does not use the required class. Okay, so you can't use this for your companions, but you can use the armor set I mentioned at the start if you go to a cantina. It's a good way to get a set.
Come back anytime.
But yeah, you'll want to make sure you're able to upgrade your companion's gear as well. This helps. I'd almost say that helps more in most cases, especially if your companion's a healer or DPS, well, even a tank, because they're doing a lot of work as well alongside you. But now you know what adaptive gear is, and I apologize if I've done a all over the place way of explaining it, but that's just how I am. Now what you'll want to do is gather some basic accommodations. Now you can get these from doing a whole range of activities. Sometimes you'll be rewarded them from doing missions. You can do group finder stuff and you'll get them as rewards. You'll also get some for killing bosses in flashpoints as well. But here's the main way of doing it. So, as you can see here, my bounty hunter has completed a mission and he gets to select a reward. Now, the storage cases, there's a couple of weapons, but over here you will see there is a stack of 12 basic commendations. Now, that's several modifications I can get for various pieces of armor, because modifications only cost 2 basic commendations each. So, getting a stack of 12 is a pretty good deal. So make sure you always accept this, and for those that don't know, if you are a subscriber at this point in time, you'll get a 12 times XP bonus, and as you can see here, from finishing a class quest I've got 140,000 XP, which is a lot, and it's just enough to level you all the way up to the max level as you're playing through the main story. This is probably one of the best little features I've ever seen in the game. I really do like this. Now, just to drive that point home, when you get the option to pick a reward and there's a stack of 12 basic commendations there, or however many commendations, always pick them. If you constantly pick commendations as you're leveling, especially if you're doing your class missions with the 12 times XP boost, you will be able to keep your gear upgraded and your companions, making your life easier in the long run. Now, you don't have to use every single vendor here as you level up. You can probably get by a couple of planets on one set of gear before you need to switch again. But anyway, now that you've got some commendations saved up, and if you want to know where you can see your commendations, go to your inventory under currency and it will be listed at the top. So, we have commendations. Now we need to modify our gear. So, you need to go to a modification vendor. Now, I've bought the adaptive armor chest piece that's from the Korriban vendor. As you can see, the rating is 28, meaning it's not that... It's okay, it needs to be upgraded. I'm on a slightly higher level planet and so on. So, every piece of gear will require, most of the time, 3 things. An armoring mod, well, armoring, a mod, and an enhancement. Now, if we're talking about weapons or offhand stuff, then you're also looking at hilts and barrels, but for the sake of this, keeping it simple, we'll just focus on armor, although I want to point out hilts and barrels replace the armoring mod. But anyway, we need to buy... And you need to make sure you have the correct stat when doing this. Now, if you don't know,
Stay alive.
just go to your character, and whatever the highest stat is, every character is going to get endurance, so ignore that, but whatever your highest stat is your primary stat. So for instance, for me it's strength. For my companion that I currently have out, it's cunning. So keep that in mind. But just for the sake of showing you how to do this, I'm going to just buy any old thing. Now, you need to make sure you're picking the correct stuff when you're buying. So I'm going to go ahead and buy my armor part. I'm going to buy a modification. Now we just need an enhancement.
Stay alive.
So there we go. We have all of our stuff here. Each piece cost 2 basic accommodations each. Now, what we're going to do is control right click on this. You can also go to a modification table, but we're just going to control right click, and we're just going to drag each piece on here. Now, normally it will ask you if you want to replace the existing mods inside. You can pull out existing mods. It costs you a little bit of money to do so, but I don't think it's worth it, especially at low levels. But if you really need some money, you can pull them out and probably sell them for slightly more profit. So, we've applied all of our modifications to our chest piece. As you can see, the item rating has gone up from 28 to 50. Now, that is basically how you modify your gear. Now the idea is you'll be saving your basic accommodations, you'll be coming back here every couple of planets, and you'll need to upgrade each piece as you go. Now it is kind of tedious because you've got to do, you know, head, chest, gloves, belts, pants, feet, offhand, main hand in some cases, bracer, and yeah, it's a pain, but it's worth doing. Take 5 minutes doing it, then you don't have to spend 15 minutes dying over and over trying to kill a boss. That's my advice. Now, there is one other thing worth mentioning. Next to these vendors, there are the equipment vendors, as I've said.
I've got the best hardware and the best prices.
As you level up, they'll have different items, and for example, this one has belts and helmets, although these helmets are actually adaptive, which is rather nice, but the belts are not.
Good hunting.
But depending on who you speak to,
Looking to upgrade
you'll
your
have different
arsenal?
options. For instance, these do pants and belts and
Good
weapons,
hunting.
and so on. It keeps going like that. But yeah, that is my little guide for basically gearing as you level up. Hopefully it made sense. I know I'm not the best.
Done myself, Master. I think you'll be quite pleased.
No, I'm not pleased with you 2VR8. I'm trying to talk here. But yeah, hopefully that explains most of what I'm trying to get at. I know I'm not the best at doing this type of thing, but hopefully that will make life easier for you people if you're leveling up and you're struggling while leveling. Also, if you've got a healer companion, let's say you can't heal, grab a healer companion. It makes life so much easier. If you're a tank, use DPS, because half the time you'll be able to tank whatever you're fighting and your companion will finish it off a lot quicker than, say, you've got a healer companion healing you while you tank. That just slows everything down. You've got to get the combination right. If you're a DPS, you get the choice of either having a healer keep you alive so you can kill everything, or a tank to basically tank the damage for you. Personally, I find healers are a bit more sturdier. They last longer, they heal themselves, they heal you. Tank, some occasions does have a healing ability, but yeah, it's touch and go, touch and go. Now, to wrap this video up, I'm going to end on a little boss fight. I want to point out though, if you're not level 60 and you haven't been to Yavin yet and you want to avoid spoilers, stop the video now, because this does include spoilers. So if you don't want to ruin it for yourself, don't watch from now. Okay guys, for those of you who are sticking around, we are going to fight Revan. Now this is the solo mode version. There are no cutscenes, this is just going to be the straight up fight. I'm not going to give you too many spoilers in terms of endgame cutscenes, because I want you guys to experience them for yourself, although at some point I'll come back on a different character and show you, but for today I'm not doing that, we're just going to fight. So, Revan is held up here, my allies are here, we're just going to go in, we're going to have a good time. Everyone's ready to go. Okay, Revan, let's do this.
This will be the end of you!
Now the game puts everyone around to sort of help you out. Now, a little tip, I recommend using
I have come too far.
DPS companions, because we have Cestiel Shan here and she keeps everyone healed. Lana also heals, so you do not need a third healer. Just go for DPS so you can get this fight done quicker.
You cannot deny me!
He is strong with the Force.
And for those that like seeing UI, here we go. I don't think Revan can kill me. Well, actually that's a lie, he can. But I'm confident I'm not going to die, so I don't need to see the UI. But for those that are wondering what skills I use and all that, here it is. I don't really have a rotation down, I'm quite a noob. But we have Darth Maul here, tanking it up. My character's actually a tank, so he doesn't put out as much DPS as the others. Hence why I suggest bringing a DPS companion. You don't need a tank, you don't need a healer, just bring DPS. Because this fight can drag out. Now this isn't the only version of the Revan fight, there is an operation. I believe it's at the end of Temple of Sacrifice, but I've yet to complete that, so I can't really show you, but when I get to that point, I will do a video on it. So now, here's one of the little things that happen. Everyone will be put to the side and they'll be span around in circles over and over. I need to run around and collect these little glowing balls, make sure the right colour goes to the right location. So red to purple, as it were, blue to blue. And you have to keep doing this to free everyone. Now, when I first did this, I messed up thinking the blue ones would damage me. And there is a very slow timer going on, but it takes like 3 minutes to dispel, so I don't recommend waiting 3 minutes for it to finish. If I'm not mistaken, you do not want to run with a glowing ball onto the other glowing ball because it will explode, hurting you. But it shouldn't kill you, it just drags it on longer. Now Revan's outfit, minus his mask because he's not wearing it, but his outfit you can get, the Revan Reborn, is a cartel market item. Something I really want to get my hands on for my Sith Inquisitor or my Sith Assassin. I feel it fits him perfectly. Because I feel like if I make another Marauder, it's probably going to be body type 3, so it's not going to be the skinny body type that Revan's currently using. So his armor wouldn't really fit it, if that makes sense. But you could basically remake Revan if you wanted to, if you decide.
He is strong with the Force. This is my destiny.
But there is lots going on in this fight.
I have come too far.
And again, I've got to rescue everyone. Let me quickly show you what happens. I've got blue ball. I'm going to go over the red one. Bosh. Don't do that, that's bad. Okay. I still had the red one. Anyway, we should probably focus here, so let's release our friends. I recommend releasing the healer first. Probably just to, err on the side of caution. At least that way, if anything goes wrong, they can keep you healed. That's how I see it anyway. Because you can't do any damage until everyone's released. So just having the healer out keeps you alive. Helps you out in the long run. Now, think that'll be the last time I have to actually do that.
I must have
So
my
let's just burn him
revenge.
down now.
The Force is my servant.
Oh, and no one can shut up during this fight. Everyone is talking. Just throwing
You
that out
are
there.
sealing the galaxy's fate.
Let's go, people!
I must have my revenge.
So much power.
Doing this for the first time was quite amazing because of the cutscene that's prior to it and after it. It was very cool. Also, what we're standing on, this fighting pit, you can get one of these. Although it's a smaller version, but you can get one from your stronghold. That's something I'm going to work on eventually.
You are sealing the galaxy's fate. It can't be.
There we go.
Better check the still on the parts.
Goodbye, Revan. There's one thing in this game that I wish was available, was the option to join another faction, in the sense that I would have joined Malgus if given the opportunity. I would have joined Revan given the opportunity. God damn it, he's done his force vanish again. But yeah, that was the Revan fight, and that was the end of this video. I realise I may have been a bit over the place, all over the place, and I apologise. What would you guys like to see in future Old Republic log videos? I'm more than happy to produce more guides or show you content, whatever you'd like to see. Aside from that, I'll keep showing you what I think's cool and what's worth showing. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's helped. Till next time, thank you for watching.